I'm Alan Murray, the CEO of Fortune Media, and I'm here today with Pierre Le Manh, who is President and CEO of PMI. That's the Project Management Institute, and we're going to talk about reimagining culture in the workplace, which is a topic that is on everyone's mind today. Pierre, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I think it's probably true before the pandemic that culture was something that just kind of happened, maybe a little bit defined by the workplace. Now we're in this world where every company is trying to figure it out. How do we make it happen? We're hybrid, we're all remote. How do you create a great culture in a remote or hybrid workplace?
Yeah, it's interesting that we're linking so much culture and being in the office or not. These days, everybody's asking, why does being at home or remote have such a big impact on culture? 85% of C-suite executives that believe that people are actually slacking off because they're working from home. And then on the other hand, which is really interesting, is that 85% of people, employees, feel that they are overworked. So that big dichotomy is probably what creates all these questions.
Obviously, there were lots of advantages to having people shift to work from home in terms of, no commute time, proved that they can productively work from home. But the two things I hear that were the downsides, the disadvantages, is that it was harder for people to collaborate across teams. The second one was onboarding new people. How do you get them on board and get them to feel a sense of belonging to the organization so you don't have this, what one CEO referred to as job grazing?
Yeah, so I actually agree with the second part of the statement that onboarding has been more difficult, especially when you think about younger professionals who have never actually worked anywhere. So for them, they feel a little bit disengaged, and it's harder for them also to get support from their direct management, from their colleagues, if there is no interaction that cannot be planned. You have to lead by example to an extent. That's how we come with these situations of coming back 2 days a week, 3 days a week, that many companies are trying to deal with right now. It's usually useful when you know people and you talk to them all the time to brainstorm together, to come up with new ideas, to deal with problems on the spot. When you're not constantly connected, then you have to organize all of that, and it's a little bit more cumbersome.
So Pierre, this is such a moment for reinvention and redesign. Companies are redesigning around new technologies. They're redesigning around purpose and sustainability. And of course, they're redesigning around how to make the office place work. What's the role of project professionals in all of that?
Well, project professionals work in all sectors of society. They have been used themselves, by the way, with working with teams that are usually very remote. It's not new for project managers to have a team of experts that contribute to a project from different countries, different locations, sometimes on site, sometimes not on site.
And how are you finding the talent demands? Every CEO I've talked to recently has put talent near the top of the challenges they face.
The simple fact of not having an office anymore in the US has made it much easier for us to recruit, because now we can tap into a pool of talent that is much broader than before. And it's also easier for us now to have teams distributed across the globe and working together. So it's opened so many new opportunities for us.
Well, it's so important. I mean, I can tell you, running Fortune, having people who are skilled and creative at project management is critical, because change is happening so rapidly and so much needs to be rethought. So thank you for what you do, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us about it.